appetite for the list.
This is good.
We've got your steaks,
And you want to look at marbling.
sauces,
Oh, I can smell the citrus.
There you go.
eggs,
Chickens lay what we feed them.
and coffee.
It's smooth and flavorful with no bitterness.
And our first course is how to eat well and live a long life.
Worth about 2 years of life expectancy.
The list is in good taste, and it starts right now.
Hey everyone, I'm Christina Guerrero.
And I'm Jimmy Rhodes, and today we're all about the food that brings us together, nourishes us, comforts us, makes us happy. We're calling it All in Good Taste.
So let's start with a look at how the food we eat can help us live to 100 and beyond.
It already happens in certain places around the world called Blue Zones.
Uncovering the secrets of a Blue Zone kitchen is our featured story at the top of the list.
These people may look different from one another, but they share one thing in common. They live in the areas of the world where people live the longest and are the healthiest. These 5 areas, Ikaria, Greece, Loma Linda, California, Sardinia, Italy, Okinawa, Japan, and Nicoya, Costa Rica, were discovered and dubbed Blue Zones by Dan Buettner.
Just about anybody in America could enjoy something like this.
He's spent years researching what contributes to the residents' longevity, and he's sharing some of that knowledge in his book, The Blue Zones Kitchen. The secrets start with what to eat.
The 4 pillars of every longevity diet in the world are whole grains, greens, nuts. If you're eating about a handful of nuts a day, it's worth about 2 years of life expectancy.
And the number one thing to eat?
Beans. If you eat a cup of beans a day, it's worth about 4 years of extra life expectancy. And nobody can give me the excuse they can't afford to eat healthy after they've tried beans.
But it's not just about what to eat, but how to eat it.
It is eating breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and dinner like a pauper, and then leaving your digestive system to rest for 14 hours.
Our biggest meal of the day should be at the beginning, so we have energy throughout the day.
But also introducing the idea of a savory breakfast. I make a minestrone and have minestrone for breakfast, but a great breakfast is black beans, rice, avocado, some baked sweet potatoes.
And finally, it's the rituals as we eat.
Saying a few words before a meal, either by means of a prayer, or like the Okinawans, they intone hara hachi bu, which reminds them to stop eating when their stomachs are 80% full.
Even eating with people you like is important in the Blue Zones, and being aware of our surroundings during mealtime, meaning no phones, TVs, or other outside distractions.
What's really important is not trying to remember what to eat, but to learn how to make a half a dozen whole food, plant-based recipes, a handful that you like.
We're eating to live to 100 on the top of the list.
Between QR codes and fewer items, we all know the impact the pandemic has had on menus, but in truth, those changes were already happening. Here's the good news. It's all about making the experience better for you, the customer. We're looking at how menus are designed to maximize your dining experience. We've all heard the old yarn about menus. They're designed by marketing psychologists to trick you into spending more money.
We don't want to trick you and get you to buy the surf and turf.
Sean Willard's a menu engineer at Menu Engineers, and he says sneaky menus died off with 5-star user ratings.
Restaurateurs need to react to third-party review sites in real time.
Success is all about staying as close to 5 stars as you can for discovery, then cultivating repeat business. So we're running down the new rules of menu design. First, for restaurants to get you hooked with their best food, they've got to knock you off your default order.
We all have kind of playlists.
You know, those 2 or 3 items you order over and over again on a loop, like say pizza.
If I'm not sure what I'm going to get from a restaurant, I might just go to that item. We call that a default order.
A default like pizza is fine in a food court, but in a nice Italian restaurant, defaulting to pizza might prevent you from discovering their signature pasta dish. And why do people punt to a default?
When guests default to an order, it's oftentimes because they feel overwhelmed or they're not ready to read the menu.
So knocking you off your default food playlist has to happen fast.
Our goal when we create menus is to help people find something that is different, that is unique to that restaurant, and do it quickly.
So menu designers use layout and graphical elements to direct your eye to that restaurant's bring 'em back item, which Sean defines as?
If your childhood hero walked through the door, or your grandmother, your grandfather walked through the door of your restaurant, and you could pick one item that you got to serve them and say, taste this at my restaurant, what would that item be?
And if they had one shot to impress this very important person, every restaurant owner knows exactly what they'd bring to the table.
They share very specific items on their menu that they would give to that person.
So the menu isn't pushing you to the biggest bill, it's pushing you to the best experience.
Bring 'em back items are about what does the restaurant have the most confidence in. It's not about profitability, it's not about sales. If I serve this to you, will you love it and will you come back and patronize our restaurant again? What I try to do as a customer is really listen to a menu. I know that's an obscure thought, but what do they want me to have?
What items do they highlight? What's set off in a box? What's at the top?
I try to find that item and taste it. Try it once.
And if you're not alone, spread out your exploration.
If I'm dining with somebody, you try something else so that we can mix and match and really weigh the value of their menu offerings.
Which doubles up your chances of finding your new favorite dish. We're learning the new rules of menu design.
Well, summer is officially here, and that means it's grilling season. And while meat is usually the headliner at a barbecue, today we are putting the toppings at the top. Jackie Denker shows us 3 Asian-inspired sauces guaranteed to add sizzle to your next cookout.
Who's ready for a barbecue? But this time we're mixing it up by adding some Asian flair to our meats and veggies.
And if you're tired of the same old barbecue sauce, which everybody has, try something new.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
To show us how it's done, we turn to chef at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse in Scottsdale, Arizona, Marty Kucera.
All right, let's get saucy.
Starting with Mongolian barbecue sauce,
We'll start with hoisin, that is the base of it.
followed by teriyaki glaze, sugar, rice wine vinegar,
Next we have sambal. Sambal is an Asian chili paste. That will add a little heat to it.
then in goes chopped garlic and chopped ginger.
Ta-da!
That's
Now it's time to slather it on. Marty recommends grabbing your favorite veggies, pork ribs, or rack of lamb.
I'm gonna bib up.
it. Dig in.
My wow. This is good.
Next, we went for a bang bang sauce.
And it's a great, great dipping sauce. It goes really well with fried foods.
Start off with mayo, then some sriracha.
So this is gonna have a little bit of a kick to
It will
it.
have some kick to it.
Little bang bang.
In goes some sweet chili sauce, fresh chopped garlic, and for a little more of a kick, some red pepper flakes.
That's it.
That's it, very simple.
And try with your favorite fried food. We went with shrimp tempura and chicken tempura.
Wow. I feel like smoke's gonna come out of my ears.
Finally, a citrus cherry sauce, which goes well with.
Basically anything you would use a sweet and sour sauce for.
We're starting off with some chopped lemongrass, but
You can't just chop it up, you have to smash it first.
which she says brings out the essence of the plant. Toss that in a pan over medium heat with cooking oil. Then throw in some chopped ginger and stir away.
This takes a good 5 to 10 minutes. You'll know when you start smelling the lemongrass.
The aroma.
Yes.
To thicken the sauce, he mixed cornstarch and white wine vinegar. Toss that in along with orange juice concentrate and sugar.
Oh, I can smell the citrus.
There you go.
Then blend up some stemless maraschino cherries. Strain your citrus blend, combine, and voila.
Now, if that's not beautiful,
Right?
I don't
There you
know
go.
what it is.
Now for my favorite part, dipping. We used crab rangoons and egg rolls, but you can dip it in any of your favorite fried foods or veggies.
Fantastic.
Right? Very good.
It's like dessert.
Taking our barbecues up a notch with Asian-inspired sauces.
Here's what's next on the menu.
Butter and salt. Makes the world go around.
Tips to cook the perfect steak at home.
And you want to look at marbling.
And movies you won't want to watch on an empty stomach.
Who's hungry?
Plus, how to decipher the labels on eggs.
What's the difference between a white egg and a brown egg?
All that and more next.
Welcome back. And here's something that's always in good taste, serving your guests an awe-inspiring entree. Eddie DeJamal headed to a top-notch steakhouse to learn how to make the perfect steak every time.
Once this juicy, tender, melt-in-your-mouth dish hits the table, you know you're in for a treat.
It's a celebratory meal. A lot of people, I feel like, are a little intimidated by them. That's why they go out and eat them. It's something that's very simple to produce.
Any grill master worth their weight in charcoal knows how to cook a good steak. And STK executive chef Sia Sefi shows us how it all begins with how to choose your meat.
You want to look at marbling. If it's all one color, it's not going to have a ton of juice left in it. It's not necessarily fat, it's the moisture that's within the meat.
He recommends to go with either a ribeye, New York strip, or filet.
If you want a ribeye, you're looking for a fattier, more gristly, moisture cut. A New York's going to be a lot more lean. You're going to get a lot more yield off of it.
And the filet may be smaller and pricier, but it's also thicker and more tender than other cuts.
When we talk about prepping the meat, because I know that's the key of it, right?
Preparation is a key to success in most fields.
Next, you'll need to know how to prep your meat.
When you get your steak, you're going to buy it cold.
But don't throw the steak on the grill right away.
You want to let it rest. You want to temper, is what we call it.
Sia says let the steak reach room temperature before cooking, and then it's time for
seasoning. You want to season liberally.
And it's okay to get a little heavy-handed with the salt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
You're almost there.
Really?
Almost there.
More than this?
You want it to look like a sidewalk that had its first snowfall of the year.
The salt locks in the moisture and creates a sear.
Next is pepper.
Fresh ground black pepper. And we're going to put maybe a quarter of that in.
Flip and season both sides of your steak evenly, and make sure to
rub it in.
Yeah.
Tap it up. Flip it. Whereas I feel like I need a bell. Order up.
Finally, how to cook to preference.
How do you get that perfect doneness?
Perfect is subjective.
Whether you like medium rare or medium well, you're gonna need a thermometer and an internal temp of 125 to 130 for medium rare or 145 or higher for medium well.
Make sure those steaks are nice and juicy.
Yeah.
Butter.
Butter.
Butter. Butter and salt.
And don't forget to pay attention to
how seared are you getting on the outside before you get to your temperature on the inside.
Once your steaks make temp, let them rest for half of its cook time before slicing into it. And then grab a fork because you're almost done.
The only way to really know if you've made a perfect steak is to actually try it.
The ultimate test.
The ultimate test. Cheers. Make no mistake, that's how you cook a steak.
You're right.
Well, another thing that's always in good taste is a good cup of coffee. But if you want to add some pop to the perking process, Teresa Strasser found some eye-opening gadgets, and they're all available right now. Teresa.
Thank you, coffee fans. Put down that Java and check out these innovative products. Coming in at number 1, Jogo.
Jogo is the world's smallest and most portable way to brew and enjoy French press-style coffee anywhere.
Drop a scoop of ground coffee into a cup, add hot water, pop in the Jogo,
and enjoy.
It's small enough to fit in your pocket, and it's made from food-grade stainless steel.
But also, drinking coffee through a straw helps prevent unwanted teeth stains.
And its BPA-free silicone tip is said to provide comfort and temperature diffusion to make every sip enjoyable.
The highly functional, multi-purpose design can also be used to drink loose-leaf tea or any of your favorite beverages.
This one goes for around $25 at jogostraw.com. At number 2, NanoPresso.
The NanoPresso is our newest version of our portable espresso machines.
Fill its filter basket with ground coffee, pack it in with the included scoop, place the basket into the NanoPresso, and screw on the lid.
Next, add boiling water to the water tank. Fill the water up to the line marked on the inside of the water tank.
Then screw the tank onto the NanoPresso, unlock the piston, and start pumping.
After about 20 to 30 pumps, your espresso will be fully extracted.
It's also modular, meaning you can buy accessories for this thing.
Such as the NS adapter, which allows you to switch between ground coffee and capsules by simply adding the adapter.
This one is going for around $70 at wakako.com. And third on our perky products list, Dorothy.
Make cold brew coffee in minutes with the Dorothy Rapid Cold Brewer by Presto.
Typically, cold brew would take 12 to 24 hours to make, but not with this machine.
A tornado spins coffee grounds through the water to make cold brew fast.
Just fill the glass carafe with water, adjust the brew speed, and pour ground coffee into the whirlpool.
And let it stir to your desired strength.
The longer the grounds whirl, the stronger your Joe will be.
Then attach the plunger with filter and press down down slowly and evenly to filter the coffee and move grounds into the stirring cup.
And this one will set you back around $55 at gopresto.com. And those were 3 products that look like they'll perk you up. We've got lots more to come on the list. Stay with us.
Guys, you're wondering why I interrupted you when you're right in the middle of watching, but I just wanted to remind you to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss 1 minute of the list. Okay, now back to the show. We are back. Okay, doing things in good taste in your own kitchen is a priority. Well, sometimes you need some inspiration. We've got you covered. A chef is dishing up his list of the best food movies out there on the hot list.
There are 2 kinds of people, those who love cooking and those who could use a hand. If you're a part of the latter, don't worry. We're here to help you make peace with the kitchen once and for all.
You can do it.
Chef Billy Parisi has over 15 years of experience in the restaurant industry, and he's got 4 food movies that'll get those creative juices flowing for your next dish.
Everyone's going to want to come to your house when it's all said and done. You with me?
Our list begins with a Pixar film about a rat with dreams of becoming a French chef. Ratatouille.
Hey.
This 2007 film stands out for its highly detailed CGI images of food.
They definitely wanted to get it right, and they did. When you watch those perfect executed chops and slices and sautés and braises, they're spot on. Thanks, little chef.
Up next, a 2009 film that in part followed the life story of culinary legend Julia Child, Julie and Julia.
I'm Julia Child. Bon appetit.
Meryl Streep does a phenomenal job playing her, and you get to see some of the behind the scenes of someone so prominent in the food world like Julia Child.
Her story is intertwined with that of a blogger who goes on a year-long quest to cook every recipe in Child's first book.
It's a really, really fun movie.
Moving on to a 2014 star-studded dramedy, Chef.
Chef is just a fantastic movie. Jon Favreau is the star there.
He plays a chef who quits his job at a prestigious LA restaurant to kickstart a food truck business in Miami.
Step right up, best Cuban food in all of South Beach.
It's just super fun. If you're a foodie, just the way Jon Favreau flips the grilled cheese from A to Z, everything that movie, it's spot on from a restaurant point of view.
It's good, right?
Last on our list of food movies, 2014's The 100-Foot Journey.
Begin! The 100-Foot Journey is actually my all-time favorite food movie.
It follows a feud between an Indian family restaurant and a Michelin-starred French eatery, which culminates into a beautiful clash of food cultures.
I added some spices.
Why change a recipe that is 200 years old?
Maybe 200 years is long enough.
There's something beautiful there, and there's also something beautiful about the preservation of one's culture and identity.
We're treating your taste buds to some mouth-watering movies.
Who's hungry?
On the hot list. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Now, most of us agree that eggs are in good taste, but when we buy them, there are a lot of words on that carton that leave you wondering. I mean, what do things like free range and cage-free and pasture-raised actually mean? We're cracking the shell on egg carton marketing.
Stand in front of the egg section at the market and you'll see hippie-ish artwork, fancy pants typefaces, and a ton of buzzwords.
Is this just my imagination? Have eggs gone from being something that was pretty straightforward to completely confusing?
I think they're trying to sell their product, and they think maybe they're informing you, but it's not all what it's cracked up to be.
Tiffany Lilly, owner of Inspire Farms in downtown Mesa, Arizona, unscrambles the marketing jargon on egg cartons. Starting with words that cluck about how the chickens are treated.
I think the funniest one is it's never fed hormones. So actually in this country, producers are not allowed to feed chickens hormones.
So wait, it's against the law, but they put it on there to imply that they're doing something that's a differentiator.
Right.
See, the FDA actually banned the use of additive hormones in animals in 1960. Next, egg color description.
What's the difference between a white egg and a brown egg?
The difference is the chicken that laid it.
The most common is the white egg, which comes from Leghorn chickens.
The really dark ones would be like a copper Moran or a French cuckoo Moran.
There are also blue and dark red eggs, and of course brown, so when the packaging says what color the eggs are that are inside, keep in mind.
The color of the egg has no impact on what's inside the egg.
At number 3, misleading terms. Natural is one of the first words you'll usually notice.
All eggs are natural.
Okay, this one, cage-free.
You think, oh, cage-free, it's not in a cage, that's great. It's not. Cage-free usually means that they're kept in a big warehouse with a lot of other birds, and they probably never ever go outside and see the light of day.
Free range is also a popular term and is sometimes swapped out for cage-free.
Free range means that they have less than 108 square feet to play in.
Less than? Free range makes it sound like no fencing anyway.
It sounds good, but it's not enough space.
Finally, helpful terms.
So this says pasture raised. That has to do with what?
So pasture raised means they have at least 108 square feet per bird and they can go outside whenever they want.
Here's something new, raised without antibiotics.
That means that on a daily basis they are not adding antibiotics to their feed or injecting it.
What you feed the chicken is going to be in the egg.
Right, just like we are what we eat, chickens lay what we feed them.
And that's some excellent information about egg marketing.
KG, the eggs I got from that shop were the best I've ever had, and it was the first time I actually met the chicken that laid the egg.
So helpful. Great information. I would even say excellent reporting, Jimmy.
I'm gonna pretend you didn't say that. YouTube, thanks for watching all the way to the end, and don't worry, there's gonna be more. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment down below, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a list. And remember I said there's gonna be more? Right over there. Picked them out just for you.